All ways of doing a Rubiks Cube. If I can do it right without it falling out of my hands. Most people start with a cross. I start with a corner. There's another guy who starts with a corner. And I think he's part of the Ripley's, no, That's Incredible on ABC. But anyway, Seymour Brundage and the others get it done faster in like 15 seconds. But Seymour Brundage is also a illusionist, so he also does it magically. Get his Cube 3 thing is real good. And get Paul Gertner's all videos of Steel and Silver, plus his book. And Michael Amlar's videos. Anyway. And Rand Winbury videos and books. And Paul Orsman books. I don't know if he's got videos out. Alright. Illusion Builders. Alright. Rand Winbury Illusion Systems. Alright. All the pros use all those illusions. From Lance Burton, Born Again Christian, to Melinda the First League Magic Christian Lady Illusionist, Joni Spinya, Christian Lady Illusionist, Charlotte Pendragon, Christian Lady Illusionist, Jonathan Pendragon, Born Again Christian, Christian Illusionist, Master the Magnificent, David Sitcock, Jewish born, but he's a born again Christian illusionist magician. Well, you get the idea. Paul Daniels and all them. And even Jack Daniels illusionist. Okay. Murphy's Magic and Penguin's Magic, Vanishing Ink, Louis Tennant's Magic Shop, the one that Copper got his start in magic illusions. He walked in to get a new dummy, instead he walked out with a bag of tricks. Alright, losing bag of tricks. Okay. Anyway, I start with the top corners, and then the top middles, then the middle middles, then the bottom corners, and the bottom middles. But thanks to my sister Stacey saying that I used to do it faster, she just helped me figure a way, using my sister Stacey as a key card, to understand to get it quicker. I'll explain about that later on. I was praying to Jesus that either me or someone let Copperfield mix the cube up, and he solved, and then either me or someone else solve it. And Jesus answered my prayers. He used Stephen Brundage. Stephen Brundage saw Copperfield, had Copperfield mix up the cube, and he gave Copperfield a time for him to solve it. Copper said 15 seconds, and he did just like that. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter what color your cube is. If you got a book that's all colored, you just substitute whatever your color is and do the same method. It'll work. But don't take a piece out wrong and then do it. It ain't gonna work. Or a corner, because you get all the pieces done but those corners and pieces, edge pieces or middle pieces, whatever, if you stick with the same pattern. But if you picked a different pattern, it would be a different corner and a different middle, but you'd have to take it out and put it right, so it's all solved again. That's just how it works. So the idea is to hope you don't things fall apart while in motion. Okay. I'm going to put the corners together. Alright. Well, provided I do it right. The corner is, I gotta find the centerpiece first. Where's it? Oh, there it is. So you use the center to know your corners. For Rubik's Events, the center moves, so, you know. Although the center does move for Rubik's Cube, but it just goes in circles. It doesn't move around in general. If you get a face cube, you'll know what I'm talking about, and you have to do different things, different pattern to get the face aligned and all that. Okay, I'm looking for the yellow, red. Well, here's the yellow here, but it needs to go up here. That's a yellow red, but I gotta find a yellow red. Right here. Okay. Okay. See how that matches with the center, that matches with the center. See, all the centers match up with their thing. Anyway, if I didn't talk and just solve it, I would have got it done quicker. But I'm trying to explain what I'm doing. See, that center matches up with that, whatever color you have. The audio solution, it's all colored. You just use whatever. And the simple solution to Rubiks Cube by James D. Norris, it's all in black and white, so you just, whatever Rubiks Cube you have, just do the pattern. But it also is the same with the audio solution. And Mastering Cube is like the simple solution. It's in black and white. I forgot who does the Mastering Cube. And looking on the internet, there was a lot more books on the Rubiks Cube I didn't know about. But I knew about those parts anyway. James D. Norris, a simple solution to the Rubiks Cube. 5 easy steps. The 5th step is, once you solve it, go outside, yell without in the shouting distance that you solved it, and then go back inside and reward yourself to the refrigerator. That's a neat kind of concept. Alright. See, that's matched up with there. And you do the same thing here. It's called color line. Alright. If you do that, then it's much easier. If you just put the corners in and just get one side done, that's fine. But if you work on getting their matching corners, then you're on your way to solving it. Okay. See, I got the corners done that matches, looks like a Mickey Mouse or a V. See, looks like a V line, anyway, to their tops, anyway. I say anyway too much, but anyway. See, I did it again. Okay, I'm looking for yellow, green. See, the yellow's over here. So it needs to go with the green. See, this is yellow-green. The top is yellow, or whatever color you want to pick out of your top. And so if it's over here, if the yellow's over here, and this is the green, it's got to go here, then you just make sure this is over on this side, or this side, it doesn't matter. But just go up, over, so it matches to where it needs to go, and bring back what you did. See, now that's done. And look for a yellow red. Is there a yellow red? No. Yellow red must be in the middle. Yellow red, yellow red. Or it could be in here. Oh, it's right there. Just go up, move it off to the left or right, doesn't matter. Bring back what you did, and then you go to where it needs to go, to the yellow. Okay, the yellow's not here, it's on the bottom, so what you gotta do is, since it's on the bottom, you gotta put it so it's underneath, and you go, it matches up to this, to where it needs to go, and you go up twice, and it matches it, and bring back what you did. Okay, now I'm looking for the blue yellow. It could be in here, or it could be in here, or it could be down the bottom middle. I don't see the blue yellow there. It must be in the middle somewhere. Yeah, right there. So what you do is, you see that it needs to come down to match it up. If not, if it wasn't that way, then you'd go the other way to do the same thing. Anyway, you got that done, and then you look for yellow-orange. Is it on the bottom? Nope. Must be in the middle then. Yep. See, this way you can tell it's not going to match up. So you need to, okay, yellow-orange. Let me double check. That's yellow-orange. See, you know that ain't going to match up. See, it doesn't match up to bring. So you bring it over this way, so it will match up. Make a 3 design, then bring it up. And now you got the top. Oh yeah, turn it so it matches. Now you got the yellow done that you wanted to pick. The yellow, but you got the blue to the matching center. The orange, that's called color alignment. Oh, it's like the letter T, it's like a letter T. That's how James A. North said a letter T. Alright. Now to do the you could practice patterns for the bottom, but right now you can do them here. I taught my sister Cheryl and my dad Marcel, Franklin Page Jr., and they learned the top and the middle, but the bottom they got lost. But then Bobby Maple, Maria Maple, Joanne Maple, and I forgot their mom's name, but Larry Maple showed her how to solve the Rubiks Cube. So Cheryl can solve it when she gets in the motion, if she'll solve it. Got her on camera solving it. Alright. Christmas time. Okay, now this is the center is orange and green, so this will be a center orange green. So we know that it ain't going to go this way. You can tell that it has to come over this way because the green's here and not up here. So you bring this like this and match it to its center. And you bring this up, do that twice, bring this back down, bring this over so you don't lose it, you don't lose the top, then bring that back up. Just always retrace your steps. Now you're looking for the green-orange. It should be where you need to go. It's right there. Now we're looking for, see the green-orange went up? Alright. Now we're looking for an orange-blue. So is it in the middle anywhere? No. So it's on the bottom. Orange-blue. Orange-blue. Oh, it matched up. So you got to go this direction, all the way over to this way, so it matches up with its blue. Then you go up, up, bring it to what it needs to go, bring what you did back, bring the yellow back up where it needs to go. I hope I didn't make a mistake. Okay, I know I'm forgetting something. But bring that up, I know that. And I'm supposed to bring, yeah, that's it. Bring what I did there. Where did that yellow go? Well, I know what I was doing, folks. It's just, see, when I talk and try to explain, I lose my track. I don't know, it's just the way it does. But here it is. I see my problem there. Bring the orange back up to where it needs to go. Alright. Now I gotta put that back where it needs to go. There. Now that's back where it needs to go. Alright. Okay, now I'm looking for the blue red. Is it in the middle anywhere? No. So it's on the bottom. It's right there. Oh, it's right. And the blue's here, so it's not matching up. The blue's on the bottom, and it's not matching up to its color here. So it means I got to go this direction to match it up. Bring that, do twice, bring back, bring this over, bring this up. Always retrace your steps, which I didn't do that other time and I messed up. Alright, now I'm looking for the, alright, it has to be on the bottom because all the others are filled up here. So I need to look for the yellow-green. Alright, it's on here, so I go this way, bring that up twice, bring back, and you're done. So you got all this middles done. Now I got to get the, see, the bottom is when you got to look for patterns. That's where I lose everybody, because they're like, patterns? But if you think about it, you're doing patterns here, because you were doing it, but you just didn't realize you're doing it. Alright, this matches up. Is there a diagonal? This matches, yeah. So I gotta go twice once. I put what needs to switch this way. So move this over twice, up, and go once, twice, bring down, go all the way. Man, I'm sitting there talking. I can't focus. I don't know why I do that. I know what I'm doing, but I think you just need to watch what I do instead of what I'm saying, because, I mean, most of the time what I'm saying is right. Okay. Let's put this there. That's where it needs to go. That's where it needs to go. These two need to switch, so it's... I gotta this over. Try to remember how this goes. Once, twice, and bring. No, that didn't work. I'm not understanding this. I know what I'm doing, but now I can't think. Okay, folks. I will get this right eventually. Where'd the yellow go? There it is. Put the yellow where it needs to go. Alright. Put the red where it needs to go. Orange to where it needs to go. Oh, let's see, it's on the top. Okay, there's the blue. Needs to go over here. Okay, the centers are done, well, except for the blue. Put the blue where it needs to go. Alright, that's right, that's right. See, these two are right this time. And these, oh, let me see some. This is right. And this is right. These two got to switch, so it's once, twice. See, now that worked that time. The other was twice, once. Alright. Now the patterns, there's many different patterns you got to look for. This pattern here is like this, I think. When you see this pattern, this is where you go. Twice, bring that down, twice, bring that up, twice, bring that down, bring it once, boom, and it's there. Now you got the corners done. Now the middles, just keep going around till you find one that's either in its place or a color line and in its place, either way. Alright, it's in its place and its color line, but if it was in its place and not color line, you would still use that. Alright. See that? See this pattern here? This is a pattern here to get it done quicker. This is over here. This has got to come over here. This one's got to come over here. This will flip and this will flip. So you need to go up, up, over, 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 bring and over, and boom, and you're done. See, that's one of the quick ways I came across. Thanks to my sister Stacey noticing it. If not, I'd have to do more patterns, because I would have did something to find a pattern, and then when I see that pattern, I would do that pattern, and that. But this way, I saw a pattern, and I was like, wait, I don't have to look for the other patterns, because here's the other one that'll solve it quicker. See? And there's another one that does the same thing. But you do the pattern to make the pattern. Okay, that's not it. Alright, good. One more time. Whoops. I'm going wrong direction again. This pattern here. This pattern does things too. Alright, this will stay as it is. But see, this will go over here straight. This will flip over and this will flip over to go where it needs. Well, let me do this again. This will go over here. This will flip and this will flip. See, these two will, this one will flip to go here where it needs to go. This will just go over here, but this will flip to go over here. But this stays as is. And you just keep the top of this color and you go. And you just keep going like this. And you're done. See? Another thing I found out that's interesting. If I got everything done but the bottom middles, I would just keep this here, and see, this needs to go here. I would do like I'm putting the middles in. And then I would put, let's see, I'll put that there. Always retrace your steps though. Alright, and then this needs to go here, so I'm going to go over this way. Let's put the middles in. And let's see, this is a yellow blue, so a yellow blue, I gotta think, I'm looking for a yellow green, that's what it is. Oh, it's over here. I need to bring that there, then bring what I did up. Alright, now we're cooking. Alright. See, I see what's wrong. See, this is the right color, that's why. I'm looking for a blue orange, that's what it is. Oh, right there. So what I need to do is do this to bring the object down, to bring where it needs to go there, so it comes over here. Oh, it almost fell apart, gotta be careful. And this is a Speed Cube too. Speed Rubiks Cube. Alright, then this piece here goes over here. As long as I have it half solved, it'll solve itself by just doing the middles all around. As long as I have the bottom corners done, I'm good to go. Because if I got the tops done and the middles done, and if these aren't, I could just play around doing the pattern you do to get the middles in, and all of it will fall into play. That's another quick way to solve it. There's millions or billions of combinations in a Rubik's Cube, but one solution, like this. But if it's solved and you take a piece, a corner, or a middle, or a bow, or whatever, how many, and you mix it, you'll, if you stayed with the same pattern, then those very pieces that you did, you have to take out and put right, because it won't solve unless you take it out and put it all right to be solved. Same, and if you picked with a different color, it would be a different corner, middle, or whatever pieces were in wrong. Teenagers at the the Bill Rice Ranch Christian Camp, they thought it didn't matter. And I said, well, that's kind of good that you did that, because I would have thought it wouldn't either. So you just helped me realize that it always has to be in a solved state. And if you turn a corner wrong and then mix it, then it won't get solved. There's something about the pattern. It has to be in a solved state and mixed. Because if you take a piece and put it in wrong, or mess with the stickers, which I'm glad nobody did that, but you just helped me, I told Epstein, you just helped me realize that It has to be in a solved state and mix it up and then solve it. If a piece is wrong and the pattern don't match it up, then you know someone accidentally, the piece came out and they put it in and they didn't know about that, so they just put it in. And but if they got lucky and put it in the right way, then you can solve it. But anyway, you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. I'm sure a lot of people have come across that information. If not, then here's information you need to know. Alright? That's why with these people that do contests, if it breaks up, they can't solve it because unless they memorized the way the color was in the while they were solving it, and they could put it exactly where it was before it was about to be solved in the solved state, then they can finish up and then hit the timer. But other than that, I don't see how, unless they get a photographic memory and memorize all of it. But anyway, you'd have to be Monk, TV crime detective. He remembers everything. He's got a photographic memory. But see, here's a pattern. See, if there's two sides done and the other two are in its place but they're not color lined, then you put the two that's solved are in front of you and you do this. And come over one or to solve one in it. And it's solved. But here's another way to solve it. Thanks to my sister Stacey helped me realizing it, because her and her boyfriend mixed it up real good and gave me a challenge. Okay, it was a vacation Bible school guy who could do the same thing. Alright, instead of doing it the other way, just do like you're doing the middle. Just put that there and bring what you did back up there. This has to go over here, and this has to go over here, and I solved it in less time than doing it the other way. And part of that pattern that I came across on the first time around, I come over here, that pattern there, then the pattern puts it to where it needs to go. See, this will go over here, this will flip, this will flip. So you just go up, up, over, over, just like that. But see, when I saw that pattern, I did that right away. I didn't look for keep messing around until I find a pattern. Because here's another pattern that will show up. Wow, why did I get it to do it? I think I made a wrong turn, folks. Let me do it again. Alright. Oh boy. Let me, oops, where'd it go? Oh. Okay, try this again. Up, up, once, up, once, twice. Back, once, back, once, back, once, twice. If you see this pattern where two sides are done from the bottom, then these gotta flip and these gotta flip. They're in their place, but they gotta be colorline. Then you put the whole thing that's solved on top in the middle, on the bottom, and the two sides that are done over here, and the two that's got a switch are in its place, but they got to flip around. You do this number: up, up, once, up, once, up, once, twice, back once, back twice. And then here's another pattern. I'm sitting there talking, I probably messed myself up. Yeah, I did. Well folks, when I talk, I focus, and then sometimes I'm not focused. Okay. If you see that pattern, you know what that is. Whoops. Where'd it go? Oh. I don't know. I think I messed myself up. But the thing is, if you see two like that, you know what to do. But if you see another two like that, in other words, all 1, 2, 3, 4 are in its place but not color line, then you just help me realize to do the method that you do here, and then do it again over here, and it'll solve it. But see, I'm trying to do two things at once. Anyway, there, that's what I wanted to show you. See how it's in its place, and this is in its place, and this is in its place, and this is in its place. There used to be a pattern. It took me a long time to solve, and I was like, there's got to be a quicker way. So, you just helped me realize, well, you know, this pattern is basically this pattern. Let me do this pattern and see if this still stays here. So I went once, twice, once, twice, and it stayed. And I did it more than once just to verify it wasn't a fluke. Alright, and then this puts me into that pattern again. So I keep the two sides solved like I normally do and see it there. Just turn the whole thing upside down. And I go once, twice, once, twice. When I do it once, the second time I'm going back once. Because the other, when I'm first doing, I'm going forward once all the time, and then twice. And then, when I go back, I go once, but I'm going back. And then I go twice. I want to explain what I'm doing. But anyway, but if you see the patterns, you get done quicker. It's like that one I saw. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to keep looking until I find a pattern, because normally you just got to go like this. Keep looking until you find a pattern. It's like, see, there's no pattern, and you go, keep looking. And sometimes it gets done quick when you don't even know it, and you don't even have to do the bottom. Just how the pattern falls into place. Alright. This looks like a pattern. This will go over here. This will go, yeah, so instead of going to the right, it's going to go to the left. Yeah. And if I happen to see that other pattern, let's see, it's not the pattern, but I would look, okay, this one's there. It should come out some pattern. No, let's see. That's gonna go, no, that's not it. Let's see, let me see what this is. I'm sure this is a pattern too, that if I knew what to do, it would be the same as that other one. Because this looks like the same idea, but in reverse, because this is over here. This would go over here, and this will go over here, and then this would come over here. Let me try some. I guess I should have went the other direction for it, because the other way would have did it. Pretty much sure. But anyway, just play around till you get a pattern. See, now it's this pattern where the two sides done. So, well, almost good. Well, I know what I'm doing. It's just I'm trying to talk and do everything at the same time. But it's not that mixed up, so I can put it back where it, and even if it is mixed, I still can solve it. Okay. That's in its place. See, I gotta get my bearings on where everything, okay, there it is. Okay, it's in its place, but I need to bring it, something else in its place to bring it down. Put it where it needs to go. Bring what you did back up. That gauge go there. Bring the white back. Look for the orange. Well, the red needs to go there and the orange there, so I mean I gotta put a color in its place. And let's go there and well, anyway, you get the gist of the thing. You do the patterns to get the patterns, and then you do the pattern again to get the pattern again. Okay. Just play with patterns and study them, and you'll know what you gotta do. There's that pattern. Follow this, goes over here. Anyway, you get the gist of the thing. You do the patterns to get the patterns. The bottom corners is what you're going to have to work for patterns. That you might see it like this, and you just do that pattern. Or if it's on the corner, you just turn it away and then do it. And all that stuff. Or if it's on the sides, or the two are at the bottom and the others at the top. You practice those patterns, you get memorized those photographic patterns, you'll pretty much know. It's like riding a bike. Once you know it, you can't forget it. I mean, unless you lose your memory, but we're hoping that won't happen. But other than that, you get the gist of the thing. Solving a cube is not easy, but with practice you'll get faster and faster and faster. My best time in 1980s was 1 minute and 12 seconds. The teenagers at church, before church service, in the main church service, would mix the cube up and then time me on their digital watches. Now it would be cell phones, in the year 2023. Hardly anybody wears watches. That's why they're pretty much cheap in stores now if you want to buy one. Even if one has got an indigo light on it. They're not all that expensive. If you get a real name brand one. But mainly people use their cell phone to check the time. And most people use a Bible app instead of their solid Bible. You can carry the Bible on the go. And it's best to do the King James, Holy King James version of the Bible. Because someone posted that someone is messing up other Bibles and making it look like they don't know what they're talking about. Whereas the Holy King James Bible is staying true to what it is. I mean, the King James says, Jesus says, in my house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. Other translation says, in my house are many houses. There's a big difference between mansion and houses. And there's other things that that's why you got to use what the King James says. Mansions. In my house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you and come back in like manner. So he went up in a cloud and all the disciples saw him, then, you know, he's going to come back in like manner. The rapture, rapturo, means taken up. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16. That means you pray to Jesus to forgive you of all your sins you committed. That includes even the ones you don't know, but you don't have to say that. God knows your heart. But you can say that if you want. But you can just say, Jesus, please forgive me for all my sins and come in my heart and save me. I mean, it's not rocket science. And you really got to mean it, because God knows the heart. You have to know, you got to say it and mean it. You can't just say it and then don't mean it. If you really meant it, you see a change in your life. Behold, all things are passed away. Behold, all things are new. Everything that God said in the Bible is coming true. Once you get saved, how it works, and he said he's going to make the sun extra hot when it gets close to coming back. The sun was yellow. Now it's a bright, intense white to us, because the ozone layer is opening up, as Pastor Walter called Pastor Walt Cole's message. He said if they just read their Bibles, that means the King James Bible, that they would know the reason why God is opening up the Earth's protective layer that he put there. That now the red rays are coming in, and the sun is extra hot. Everybody says, I remember a day when the sun was yellow, and I could look up at the sun, and, you know, it didn't bother me. And now they say, it's an intense bright light. It's so bright, and it burns my face. Remember in the Bible, when it gets close to the end times, that people get boils on their skin and everything? And even Pastor Astor said there are birds slowly going into Jesus' area, buzzards and all that, because it says in the end times that these birds will start eating human flesh. So it's important to get saved now, so you don't have to go through all this tribulation. And it's becoming a cashless planet Earth. Walmart and banks want to go cashless. They don't want money anymore. Pennies are going to slowly be obsolete, Bob Schofield said. KTM motocross biker, illusionist, magician friend since 1980s on up. Church member Bob Schofield. I was 11 years old when I came on the church bus. We're gradually going to bring back the buses, 10 more extra buses. And we're going to get a large shuttle bus that has seat belts. That's a plus. God's in this. He's making sure everybody's safe and sound. He made sure that that door was open and kept that other miniature shuttle van protective when they got in a wreck, because something about the brakes went and all that. And nobody knew about it, but God did, and that's the reason why that door never got a window on it, because that's the very door that everybody that was in that wreck got out of that door, you know. And God is slowly healing everybody up. And even Ron Reed pulled through, but he caught a bad virus, and the hospital was going around, and he was ready to go to heaven. He was saved, so he went to heaven immediately. Anyway, and it's good that Joseph Rock asked for the recipe of his fudge recipe. We were able to get to taste it again, because he would bring it at the Tides game or any activity, even Christmas caroling. Bread, and way far in advance, he'd get all the birthday cards and give out to everybody. And the family said that the month of October will be the last birthday card you get, so don't assume that he's still sending them through heaven and coming down. He says them and sent them in November. So if your birthday's in October, which would be Tommy and Cecil Lee and all them, they got one in the month of October. So don't think that Ron Reed is he's in heaven, but it ain't like you got a birthday card sent from heaven. But they said, well, you get what I mean. But he has them all ready and sent out on a timer to know when to send them out. So that way, when he was on this earth, he would get more much in advance and mail all these birthday cards to everybody on their birthday. I mean, Pastor Asher, he gives everybody birthday cards too, and Walt Coles and Jan Coles, all together and all that stuff. And then everybody shares with Christmas cards too. Anyway, Jesus' birthday. Jesus Christ, Lord, Savior, God, all capitals, means the true God. Lowercase means the false gods, the Antichrist, Lucifer, devil, mark of the beast, 666. 3 6, yeah, 6